For being here. I just started the event a couple minutes early here just to let everyone kind of trickle in. We do have a big list of attendees today, and people keep joining as I can see. So thank you all for being here early, and other people will join soon. And in the meanwhile, I'm just going to make sure that my crazy long hair looks okay on the camera. I was pretty hesitant to get on camera because I haven't had a haircut in 3 months, but I guess that's kind of the case with everybody these days. So I'm going to brave it, and hopefully the video and audio is all coming through nice and crisp and smooth. You guys have access to a chat pod here that you can communicate with me through at any time. So I encourage you to use that chat window. If you have any questions or if something's not working, just let me know. I've also got RealtyNinja's co-founder here with me, Raman, who has his mic muted, but he's here to kind of moderate and make sure that everything's going well in the chat. And just to kind of keep an eye on things and help me out. So you guys are all in good company. I do appreciate you being here today. I see some faces, or some names rather, that I recognize. So welcome to those guys who are all RealtyNinja customers, and also some names that I don't recognize. So thank you, all of you, for joining us here today. We're going to have a great webinar. We're going to talk about a lot of great tasks that you guys can all work on. If you all want to just say hi in the chat and let me know you're all here with me and ready to go, that would be awesome. Just introduce yourself and say hello and meet your fellow agents. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes here, and in the meanwhile, we can all just kind of chit chat. How's everybody doing? How's working from home going for everyone? Let me know how life has been just briefly in the last couple months. Oh, hey, we've got someone from Florida. That's awesome. I would imagine most of us here are from Canada, so it's awesome to see some of our neighbors from the south. Oh, and Mexico too. Fantastic. This is an international webinar, it seems like. That's awesome. Hi, Ernesto. Hi, Kim. Hi, Denise. Hey, Glenn. Great to see you guys all. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to get started in just 1 minute here. People keep trickling in, which is fantastic. Hey, Andrew. And Axel, yeah, Axel, great to see you here too. Thanks for joining in, guys. Perfect. Whistler, look at this. This is great. So nice to see everybody from all the different parts of the country and other countries and the city. Hi, Brandy, nice to see you too. That's awesome. Welcome. Perfect. Well, it is 10 a.m., so why don't we just go ahead and get started. And anybody who joins, fantastic. They can join in, and hopefully they'll all be here on time. We did have well over 100 people register for today's webinar, so that's pretty exciting. And I'm really stoked that you guys are all kind of looking for information and looking for things to do in this time where we can't kind of transact real estate in a traditional way. And I know things are going to get better, but in the meanwhile, we put together this webinar for you to talk about real estate marketing tasks that you can do during this time when there's a slow market, when you're working from home, and when we're living in a pandemic era, which is kind of unique. So just a little introduction to myself. My name is Seppi. I am the head of marketing here at RealtyNinja. I've been full-time with RealtyNinja for just over 5 years now. But before that, I was with the company as a contractor. I ran my own marketing agency. And in that agency, I worked with a lot of small businesses and mostly real estate agents and brokerages. So I really gained an understanding of what real estate agents need to kind of succeed in modern marketing. And I got hired full-time after about 4 years of working as a contractor for RealtyNinja. So I've been with RealtyNinja really since the beginning. The founders of the company are my friends that go back to our early days of martial arts when we were children. And so it's really an honor to work with agents, and it's an honor to work with my friends and really be a part of this RealtyNinja team. So I graduated from marketing over 11 years ago, and I've been in marketing ever since. I started my career working for Earl's Restaurants at their head office, worked there for about 4 years, then branched off on my own, worked with a lot of agents, and then I started with RealtyNinja. So it's been quite a journey, and it's been great connecting with agents. I love real estate. I love real estate marketing, and I've even got a book coming out pretty soon, so you guys can look forward to that. Today in the webinar, we are going to, this is just a quick introduction that we're doing right now. After this, we're going to get into the actual pandemic task list. So we're not going to waste any time. we've got a list of 18 tasks for you guys to work on during this time when you have extra time on your hands. After that, we're just going to cover a quick page of helpful links that are all going to be included with these slides. So you're going to get these slides at the end of the webinar. So you don't need to kind of take notes about everything. You can if you want to, but if you want to just sit back and enjoy and kind of absorb the information, please do that. And at the end of this webinar, you're going to get forwarded to a page where you can download the slides, get access to those helpful links and more. So after all this, we're going to do a Q&A, and I really urge you guys to use this chat window to ask questions throughout. Now, I probably, because there's going to be so many of us here today, I will not be answering the questions on the spot because it'll just break up the flow of everything, and I anticipate getting a lot of questions. So what we're going to do is save it for the end, where we're going to do a Q&A session, and I'm going to go through all of your questions in order and answer them one by one. So please don't hesitate. One of the real benefits of this webinar is that you guys get to ask questions and get your specific questions answered, which is, you know, much easier than digging around online for answers. So please ask. I see you guys all checking in that chat window, which is fantastic. Don't hesitate to type a question and know that I'm not ignoring you when I don't answer it on the spot. We are saving it for the Q&A at the end, okay? So again, to recap, ask your questions. Don't worry about taking too many notes. You're going to get a copy of these slides and the helpful links at the very end of this webinar. So with that said, let me take a sip of coffee. There we go. And let's talk about these 18 real estate marketing tasks that you can work on during this pandemic. Now, these are not tasks that are revolutionary or anything that, you know, this whole list, you might not see anything that you've never heard of before. This webinar is not about presenting you some new strategies or concepts that are kind of revolutionary in the real estate marketing industry. The objective here is to give you a list of tasks that are super important at all times, but that now maybe you have a little bit of extra time to actually tackle these things. So it's kind of a refresher and a reminder, as well as an opportunity for you guys to ask me questions about these specific tasks. So let's get into it. The first one, and really the most relevant, is live stream and specifically live streaming open houses. So one thing that a lot of agents might not understand is the difference between a live stream video and a pre-recorded video. So really briefly, essentially a live stream video is like when you're watching the news and it's live and there's like a live person there, you know, telling you the news. It's the same thing. You guys would stand in front of a camera, either on your Facebook Live platform or on your Instagram Live or YouTube Live or whatever live platform that you choose to use. And you can do a live video recording now, or sorry, a live video presentation. So whether that's talking about what's happening in the market, or whether it's walking around the community, or whether it is interviewing somebody, or in this case, doing an open house. So as you guys all know, open houses are not possible right now because of social distancing and safety precautions. So doing these live streams is becoming really, really kind of important these days because it gives you an opportunity to showcase a home that you're listing virtually through a live event. Now, these live events are fantastic because hundreds of people can join them. In the case of an open house, maybe it won't be hundreds, maybe it'll be 20, 30, or 40 people, but that's still fantastic. And people have the option to do it from their living room in their underwear. They don't necessarily need to get in a car, drive to your property, and walk in and shake hands and you know, spend hours doing that. They can just sit there and watch a 20-minute live stream from their laptop, you know, and ask you questions live as well that you can either answer or have a moderator answer for you. Recently, boards have started adding this live streaming option to MLS during the last, you know, during this pandemic era. You know, boards have seen it as a really important thing to be able to add live stream links to your MLS listings. So as of right now, I think at least 3 or 4 boards across Canada have it, and the ones that don't, they're developing it. And so you're gonna, the same way that you can add an open house date, you're gonna be able to add a live stream date as well as a live stream link to your listings. So with a live stream, you can schedule it for a week from now or you know, a couple days from now. and then promote that live stream and get people kind of, adding it to their calendar or saving the link for it. And then when the live stream goes live, they get an announcement about it, and they can join the event. Now, if you're a RealtyNinja customer, we just added this functionality to your site, which I'll show you in the screenshot in a minute. But essentially, we automatically pull that data from the MLS and show it on your website. Whenever there's a live stream happening, we'll show a green badge. And if there's an upcoming live stream, we'll show a badge as well, with the ability for people to either click and attend the stream or to add it to their calendar if it's upcoming. Live streaming, whether it's regarding open houses or interviews or anything, market reports or whatever content you're presenting through the live stream, it's an awesome modern way to market your brand. It makes you look progressive and smart, and it's super cool because people can just sit there and ask you questions, and it's kind of a great tool for representing your brand as well as showcasing properties and stuff. So here's how this looks on your RealtyNinja site. If there's a live stream, this little badge shows up with the Live Now button or icon over it. Also on the side of your listings, it'll show up. There's nothing that you need to do as a RealtyNinja customer to get this. This is just automatically pulled from MLS, and it will show up here, and people can actually join the live stream by clicking this button. The button is linked to whatever link you input into MLS. So if you are doing a Facebook live stream, then you would add your Facebook live link to your MLS. And then when people click this link on your RealtyNinja website, it'll take them there and they can watch that. So this is a great functionality that we really released quickly because this was kind of an important feature during the times we live in right now. And who knows how long this is going to go on for, that we're not going to be able to do open houses. So a great functionality, and you can even create searches that show only upcoming listings with live streams. So a lot of cool functionality there for RealtyNinja customers. If you're not a RealtyNinja customer, you can sign up for a trial or just reach out to your own developer and see if you have this feature that you can add as an option. Next marketing task is backlinks. I love backlinks. Backlinks I've talked about for years and years, whether it's on our blog posts or ebooks or anything that I've kind of released. Like we did an SEO webinar a while ago and did an SEO guide. And backlinks are really, really the thing that I love talking about because they increase your domain authority. And domain authority is one of the most important SEO signals. So the most important signals that like Google and Bing and other search engines look at when ranking your website. Essentially, a backlink is when anybody links to your website, to your real estate website. So anybody else on the internet linking to your real estate website counts as a backlink. Now, some backlinks are more valuable than other backlinks. For instance, if a website that has millions of visitors every month and has a really high domain authority themselves links back to your website, that's worth more than if, the local mortgage broker with 50 visitors to their site links to your site. They're both really powerful and really important, but one is definitely weighted more heavily than the others. So try and get your link on as many big popular sites as you can, but also try and get your link on as many sites as you can. One tactic to do this is to ask people, in your network to just kind of do a link share. And maybe you could create a partners page on your website and link to a bunch of different people, and then send this out to those people, send that page out to those people and say, hey, look what I've done. I've given you a backlink. This is great for your search engine optimization. Would you mind doing the same thing back for me? In a lot of cases, they're going to say yes, and they'll provide you with a backlink right there. Another thing you can do is to provide quotes to the media. And so there's websites out there, either, if you guys are already tied in with some media outlets, fantastic. Reach out to them and let them know that you're able to provide quotes. Otherwise, there's services out there that will send you articles that are looking for quotes that you can quote on. So the one that I use is called sourcebottle.com. And essentially what happens is you sign up for the account, and then you tell them, okay, I want real estate related articles sent to me, for instance. So every few days, you're going to get an email that says, here's 5 articles that are looking for a quote from a real estate professional. You provide a quote, and you kind of work back and forth with the owner of that blog post. They embed your quote in there and provide you with a backlink. Not only does this make you look like an expert, which you are, but also it gets you that valuable Google juice towards your site. Another one that's really easy is just doing an audit of all of your directories online, everywhere that you exist online on the internet. So just do a Google search for just do a Google search for whatever your team name is, or your real estate brand, or your personal name if that's the name you're transacting real estate under, and find all the links that show up on Google. Open them all up in different tabs. And just make sure that your website is showing up there. So whether that's like your Facebook page or your Twitter or your Instagram, or if it's places like Rank My Agent or networking sites like Alignable, or wherever you have a directory listing. And if you don't have directory listings on a lot of these places, maybe you can create one and just add your website to it as well. Kathy, the website's called sourcebottle.com. This is a free tool from Ahrefs. That allows you to basically check in on your backlinks. So you can just go and enter your domain into their backlink checker, and there's a link here that'll be included in your in the helpful links section of this website and of this presentation. And so essentially what you do is put in your website's URL, and it'll tell you how many backlinks you have, how many domains are referring back to you, what your domain rating is in terms of your backlinks. It'll show you your top 100 backlinks, where you can actually look at the top 10 or 15 and see where they're coming from, and maybe reach out to those people and try and forge like an even tighter alliance with them, because they're the ones that have the highest domain reputation or domain authority, and they're sending you a backlink. So maybe you can get a few more backlinks on their site to even take more advantage of that. So this is a great free tool, and it's included in the helpful link section. So don't worry, you'll get this link. Next one is website design. So your website's design is very important. It dictates your entire visitor's experience with your website. Now, design can be many things. Design can be the colors, the fonts, the shape, the imagery, the layout, the styling, everything that is the look and feel of your website is what I'm talking about when I say website design. So it's really important that you know who your target audience is, and you augment your website's design to kind of speak to that visitor and increase that visitor's experience. A website is great. It's great to have a website, but these days, you need to do a little bit more. You need to make sure your website is a bit more polished so that when people arrive there, they're having a good experience. You want to make sure that that target audience that's visiting your site is feeling like the site was built for them. Whether that's through all the visuals I talked about, or other design elements such as call to actions, right? What buttons are you using on your site? Are they speaking to your target audience? These are all things that when you're working with a designer, a good designer anyway, they're going to ask you these questions. Who is your target audience? What are your goals for your website? What do you hope to accomplish? What community do you serve? And using all of these answers that you provide them, they're going to put together a website design that kind of speaks to all of these touch points and make sure that your website is actually a highly converting website and not just a site that is there to exist in case someone finds it, but it's a site that is there to exist to actually convert your visitors into leads. It's really, really reliant these days on website design, not only because it converts visitors into leads by providing them with the right call to actions and putting elements of design in the right places, but it also augments your brand. Having a beautiful brand, having a powerful brand that people resonate with is going to be, in often cases, the difference between a commission check and no commission check. People arrive at your website, and if it doesn't speak to them and what they expect of your website experience, they might just leave. So take a look at your website through a critical lens and make sure that it's looking really good and representing your brand really well, because it really is a 24-hour-a-day employee of your business. If you hire an employee tomorrow and you're paying them, a monthly wage, are you satisfied with that employee? If not, you're going to have a talk with them. If they still can't satisfy your needs, you might fire them and you might look for someone who can. So your website you should look at through the same lens. Is your website representing your brand accurately? Because it's representing it 24/7, even when you're sleeping. So make sure that your website's meeting all these points. And if you need help, if you are a RealtyNinja customer, speak to our design team. We can help you out. Get you a website that's beautiful, like this one that we just launched for Melody Hydarian. I highly recommend checking it out at hydexrealty.com here, which is included in this presentation when you get the slides after. But make sure your website's representing you accurately. When you look at a beautiful website, you really get a better experience than when you look at a very basic website. And Roxanne's here. Thanks, Roxanne. If you guys have any questions about design, you can always ask Roxanne or schedule a call with her and chat. All right, next marketing task that you can work on during the pandemic times, blog posts. Another one that I love so much and that I talk about so much. And I drink the Kool-Aid here because I actually, I manage the RealtyNinja blog. And during the pandemic, there's been way more posts to our blog. There's just more time to do that kind of thing. And so, we've been active on it. And for you guys, if you have time, I would recommend blogging even daily right now, okay? Because if you can blog daily for the next month, that's 30 blog posts. Even if they're not long, they don't have to be these long, massive blog posts. They can be a few paragraphs or even a video blog, but it's going to update your site regularly. Search engines are going to love it. Your visitors are going to love it. And these blog posts provide content for years and years to come, okay? So if you make 30 blog posts today, they don't disappear tomorrow. They don't disappear in a year. They're going to be there being really powerful for you and for your website traffic and for your brand for years and years and years. So if you have some time, really invest in writing some blog content these days and know your target audience and write blog content that is for them. Attract them to your website. Blog posts are one of the main sources of inbound traffic, and inbound traffic is when anybody comes into your website through, organic Google search, by searching something and finding your site and arriving there, or through your mailing list or social media, people who basically come inbound into your website and land on a blog post. And so these blog posts are spiking your traffic up and keeping visitors on your site to click around through your navigation and check out other blog posts and check out other pages. So really, really dedicate some time, if you have it these days, to writing awesome blog posts and sharing them on social media, sharing them through your ads, through your email list, or even just having them online to rank on search engines and attracting visitors. The top 5 technique is just something I quickly want to talk about. This technique is where you think about a search query that your target audience is going to search for. So let's say your target audience is in North Vancouver, and maybe they're searching for the best parks in North Vancouver, for example, okay? So maybe you go and do that search, best parks in North Vancouver. Now, when you get the results, I want you to open up the first 5 links in the results, okay? Not the ads, okay? Just the organic results, not the first 2 ads or whatever they are, but the next 5 organic results that show up as the top 5 posts. Open them up in different tabs and go and read each one and really absorb the information and the content that they're putting forward in each of those articles. Now, take everything that you read and go and apply it to a blog post that you're writing yourself. Write a blog post that is talking about the best parks in North Vancouver and use all the information that you read about, combine it and provide more info from yourself and make it your own, and then publish that blog post. So what you've done essentially is combine the top 5 blog posts for a certain search query on Google into your own blog post. Publish that, wait a couple weeks, and chances are your blog post is going to be ranking up there as well. Now, keep in mind there's other factors that come into play with SEO. So, for instance, one of those blog posts might just have a really massive domain authority, and so their website usually just ranks higher, even though that blog content wasn't great. So there are other factors at play, but this top 5 technique is one of the great ways to produce amazing cornerstone content for your blog. So if you have some time, do a little research and get a little bit scientific about it. All right, marketing task number 5, landing pages. So a landing page is any page that is on your website, on your real estate website, that people land on. So your homepage, for instance, is a landing page, okay? Because a lot of times people just land on your homepage. A landing page that is used in terms of marketing. A lot of the times when we say landing pages, what we're talking about is these pages that are hidden from your website's navigation, that have one goal, that convert visitors into leads, or get them to buy something, or subscribe to your mailing list, or take basically one action. Okay, these pages are usually not on your navigation because you don't want people to find it. You only want them to find it through certain avenues, like a pay-per-click ad, or a Facebook post, or some other means, even if it's just organic search. And usually they don't have a navigation on them as well. So they might be part of your website, but there's no like navigation bar at the top. So when they're on that landing page, they're only just focused on one goal, one objective that you've put right in front of them, whether that's to fill in a form and get a home evaluation, or subscribe to your mailing list, download something, whatever that is. That that goal is up to you. But hiding the navigation bar from the top is important because it keeps them focused on that goal rather than digging through your navigation menu. Okay, it's important to create various different landing pages for the different goals of your business. You can even have a landing page that is all talking entirely about your marketing process and how you market real estate and sell properties for clients. It can just highlight all of that, and then at the end have a form that says, want to work with me? Let's meet for a coffee. Fill out this form and I'll get back to you. That's an awesome landing page that highlights your strengths as a realtor. Other landing pages could talk all about why people should join your mailing list. Like we have a landing page that talks all about our dojo, our real estate marketing blog, and explains why people should join the thousands of other people that have joined this list and what they're going to get if they join it. So providing letting people know what's going to happen on your landing page after they fill out a form or join a list, or whatever action they take is important as well. So create these landing pages, have as many of them as you can, and try and promote them through your ads, email, social media, whatever channel that you can, and measure their success. If you don't have Google Analytics set up, you should set up Google Analytics and measure which one of these landing pages is the most effective, which one of them is converting more visitors into leads, and which one of them is getting more visitors in general. And maybe you should replicate those pages and create more pages like that. Here is just a quick example, just a screenshot of a landing page on one of our customers' websites, emmastewarthomes.com. This one just has one specific goal, okay? Get in touch to find out how great your experience can be. Just a form in the middle of the page, a beautifully designed landing page, and sending traffic here probably from social media ads or PPC ads or wherever. And other people can also find this online as well, randomly. So, just creating these kinds of landing pages can be powerful because they're not, like I said, there's no navigation. You'll see it's blank up here. The only thing there is email, contact info, and this form, okay? So this is a good example of creating a landing page, and I recommend doing as many of these as you can. If you guys have some time on your hands right now, make some landing pages. All right, marketing task number 6, email blasts. So I don't know how many of you guys out there are using email marketing software, but I highly recommend signing up for MailChimp. MailChimp is the one that we use and that millions of people out there use to kind of manage their business's mailing lists. It's free to start out, and you only have to pay for it once you hit a certain subscriber limit, or you're sending a certain number of emails or something of that nature. But it's free to start. It allows you to build a list, collect email addresses into that list, segment the list, send emails to the list at any time, send email to segments of the list, create automation campaigns, measure the effectiveness of your emails, their open rates, their click rates. It's really, really powerful, and not just like using Google to send 40 emails in a day. You can send those 40 emails all at once with one click and get analytics about it. You can even set up templates. I mean, it's really powerful. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with MailChimp. If you don't have it, or you don't have a email marketing software, please take some time while you have it during this pandemic to create this account, create a list, and embed your subscriber form somewhere on your website. Provide them with some value. Let them know what's going to happen if they join your list, because 10 times out of 10, people are not going to join your list just because you said join my list, okay? Think about all the times you joined a mailing list just because someone said join or subscribe, right? You subscribe for something. You're going to get something. So provide some value to people for joining your secret club, your mailing list, okay? Let them know what they're going to get. You maybe provide them with a coupon to a local restaurant or something like that. If they join, they get 10 bucks off, or if they join, they get an ebook, which is actually a lead magnet, which is another thing we're going to talk about. But yeah, think of ways that you can provide your subscribers with value and then get them to join your list through that value proposition. Think of your subscribers also as gold, okay? Because these guys have opted in. They've made a conscious choice to join your list, to join your private club, okay? This is no longer people who are visiting your website who just think you have a nice website. It's people who've said, I like you and I want to hear more from you. They've actually chosen to. So treat these guys special. Provide them with something unique that's not just available on your website or elsewhere. Maybe give them early access to listings or early access to your videos or something of that nature, just so that they feel special, because they are special and they can turn into clients after receiving your emails for a number of weeks, months, or maybe it'll take a year, maybe it'll take 2 years. But over time, those people could turn into commission checks, and that's huge. Just a quick screenshot of MailChimp. If you guys haven't been here, just go here and do the sign up. The link is included in our helpful links here, and you'll get these slides at the end. But yeah, highly recommend MailChimp. Super user friendly, and they're always adding new features as well. All right, next marketing task is social media. So I've worked in social media marketing pretty much since the beginning of when I was working in marketing, and I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen the days where Instagram didn't exist. I've seen the days where Twitter was a platform where you would text message things to. I've seen the days where you would become a fan of pages on Facebook rather than liking pages. So much has changed with social media, and it will continue to change. But the two foundations that social media stands on are going to remain the same always. They are publishing and engagement. So there's these two legs that social media stands on, and oftentimes I see real estate agents just focusing on publishing. They publish. They post stuff constantly, but they never go out there and engage. Now, when you're posting stuff on social media, you're hoping for engagement. If you post a photo on Instagram, you want people to come and like your photo. You want them to come and comment on it. But when you are posting stuff constantly, eventually that number of people who are engaging with you is going to go down. The way to increase that engagement is by going out there and actually engaging with people as well. You need to be a part of the whole thing, the whole organism of social media, and that requires you to do both. So browse hashtags like hashtag Vancouver or hashtag Calgary or hashtag Mexico or hashtag Florida, or even hashtag sub areas for the areas that you serve, and browse those photos. Chances are 99% of those photos or posts on Instagram are from your potential clients, from people that will buy or sell a home at some time in the near future. So engage with them, like their post, comment on it, be genuine. Tell them how much you like their dog, or how good of a picture they took, or how sharp they look that day at work, or whatever it is. Just be honest, be genuine, and you'll make a connection with these people. Now, what happens when you comment on someone's post or like their post is they get a notification. That notification is coming from you, and essentially what you're doing is giving them a dopamine rush to their brain. They're looking at that and being like, ooh, Brandy Smith Real Estate just liked my photo. And they get this little quick high for a second, and they love you for a second, okay? If you do that over time, they love you and love you and love you over time. And that's how they're gonna come back and follow you and engage with you and become clients of yours down the line at some point by getting to know you. So keep in mind, engagement is massive. I highly recommend engaging with your target audience because it will increase your own engagement. People will care more about what you're publishing, and it's going to increase your brand's reputation as well as your followers and everything else. It's got a great outcome. Now, one caveat, try not to spread yourself too thin on social media. It's great to own all of the channels. So like if you want to own Facebook, your Facebook page, but you don't want to use it, that's totally fine. Focus on 2 or 3 or maybe even 1 or 2 channels to really engage on, okay? If it's Instagram, great. Spend most of your time on Instagram. If it's Instagram and Facebook, great. Spend most of your time on those two, publishing and engaging. But try not to be like, I'm going to be on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, this, that, all the new ones that come out. It's going to spread yourself too thin, and you're not going to have very good results from any of those platforms, because you're only going to be giving like, a minute a day to each one, or 5 minutes a week to them, or something of that nature. So it's better if you can put your hour, a day or hour a week, or whatever amount of social media time you're putting in on 1 or 2 channels. And also remember, followers are great, but engagement is greater. I would rather have 100 followers, all of whom communicate with me and engage with me on a daily basis, than to have 10,000 followers that nobody even pays attention to. Like, none of them even pay attention to me, okay? I know it looks good for social proof, but it's actually worth more, dollars at the end of the day, at the bottom line, to have 100 engaged people than to have 10,000 people that don't even care about you. So try not to buy followers. It'll mess up your engagement, and it'll mess up the chance of your posts showing up more frequently. And try to just be genuine. If you have 200 followers, that's great. Don't worry about that count too much. Don't think you're failing at social media because you only have 200 followers. It's fine. 200 people in a room is a lot of people, and a lot of those people are going to buy real estate at some point. So be the real estate agent for those people, and your circle will grow. Just a quick look at the Vancouver hashtag on Instagram. Oh, got to change my pen color here. 21 million posts, over 21 million posts at the time that I took this screenshot. So go and look on Instagram and check out these millions of posts and engage with them, okay? Like these photos, comment on them, give these people that dopamine rush I was talking about, okay? These are all your potential customers. There's always a human being behind one of these photos or videos on Instagram. Plus, it'll also give you a list of related hashtags that you can browse as well and engage with those people too. Engagement is really, 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 really important. So keep that in mind. And if you guys have time these days, now's the time to get on there and do that. Marketing task number 8, interlinks. So I told you I love backlinks. I love interlinks too. Not as much as backlinks, but I do love interlinks because interlinks are awesome for keeping visitors on your website. A backlink is when anyone on the internet links to your real estate website. An interlink is when your real estate website connects with your real estate website. So it connects one page to another page, or one page to a blog post, or a blog post to another page. Whatever the order is, even your navigation bar on the top of your website, that's a bunch of interlinks. It's links that are linking to other pages of your website. So what that does is it keeps visitors on your website for longer. They read one blog post, and in that blog post, there's 5 interlinks to other blog posts that are relevant. So they click one, stay on your site longer, keep reading another blog post, click one, stay there longer. Search engines love this. And they also love it when people arrive on your site and don't leave right away. That's called a bounce. So if somebody arrives on your website, looks at one page and then leaves, that's your bounce, okay? So someone bounced from your website without looking at a second page. The minute they look at a second page, then your bounce rate, there was no bounce, okay? They actually went from one page to another. You want to keep your bounce rate really low. Search engines don't want you to have a high bounce rate because what it tells them is that someone arrived on one page and left because they didn't find what they were looking for, okay? You want to drive them through your website and have them looking at other things and sticking around longer. So if you have some time on your hands these days, go look at your blog posts. See where your blog posts are maybe mentioning something that you've written a different post about, okay? Highlight that text, link it to that other post. So when someone's reading, they see the blue highlighted text and they know if they click it, they're gonna find another relevant article. Do that for all of your blog posts. Include 2 or 3 interlinks in each blog post. On your website, make sure there are interlinks. Like call to actions on your website are interlinks. So make sure those call to actions are sending people to other pages of your website. Make sure that even on the pages of your website, you're linking, to people to other pages. A good example is on your searches, for instance. You might have a search that's for condos between 100,000 and 300,000. On that page, you could have a link that says browse condos between 300,000 and 600,000. So it takes them to the next, price criteria for that same condo search. So they just click that and jump to the next page. Then the next one is for 600 to 1 million or whatever. So keep people on your site by linking these pages to other pages. Try and find creative ways that you can link all of your pages on your site to other pages on your site. Just a quick screenshot. All your buttons and call to actions are interlinks, and make sure that you have things like this guy and this guy and this one and this one all over your site, because it keeps people interested. It keeps them moving around through your website. It keeps them around for longer. Guys, I just want to remind you at this point, feel free to ask questions, okay? I've noticed maybe 2 questions in here, so I'll go through and ask them. But if anything's coming up and you're like, I have a question about this, really don't be shy and don't hesitate. I'm really eager to answer any questions you may have. If you're saving them for the end, that's totally cool. But if they pop up now in your head, feel free to type them in, and I will go through the list afterwards and answer any questions that you have. So marketing task number 9, meta. Meta is not a major optimization, but if you do have time on your hands, it's something that you can do right now that is something that most people put off. So your metadata is your titles, it's your descriptions and your tags on your website, on your images. So every page on your website has metadata. Every page can have a different title, a different description, and every image can have different alt tags, okay? So make sure that you go through every page of your website, and go on the images and add an alt tag. It stands for alternate text, and so it's what search engines look at to understand what that photo is about. The titles and descriptions also tell search engines what each page is about. More so the content on the page tells search engines, but the titles and descriptions help. So like I said, it's not a silver bullet, it's a micro optimization, but if you do this for every page of your site, you're in the 1% of agents. So if you have some time, it's a great idea to go through. If you're a RealtyNinja customer, this is kind of what your page options look like. You go to manage pages and then click on the page options for each page. And then you can add a meta title and a meta description and keywords like here, like Craig Veroni has. And so for Craig's site, these are all unique for every single page of his site. You can set one that is site-wide that will cover the entire site. So any page that people are on, it'll just say like, Selena Prado real estate, for instance. But if you want each page to have its own unique title that shows up in the tab and shows up in search engine, you got to go through each one of these pages and do that. So it's a bit of an arduous process, but if you've got time on your hands, it's a great time to do this. All right, next marketing task number 10, client outreach. I don't really need to tell you guys too much about this. You guys are the agents, you're the personable people who are dealing with your clients and actually care about your clients' needs. But it's just a good refresher and a reminder that, our clients are going through, we're all people, right? And your clients are going through hard times as well. They would love just a check-in at this time, okay? My girlfriend's brother, he was calling some of his clients, and he's a financial broker. And he told me that 3 of his clients were actually like, wow, I haven't talked to someone in so long. I'm so lonely. Thank you so much for calling me. It means so much to just like chat with somebody. So you never know whose day you're going to make by just picking up the phone and just checking in with people. Don't sell anything, don't promote anything. If you want, you can tell people what's going on with you, obviously, but really just make it a caring call where you're just following up with your former clients and even leads that you've kind of engaged with. If you want to give them a call, shoot them an email just to see how they're doing. I promise it will go a long way, especially in times like this. I always say treat your clients like your friends and engage with them. If your clients are your friends, they're way more likely to recommend a friend who is a real estate agent to their other friends, and they're way more likely to use you again in the future, which is kind of the repeat business thing is massive. So client outreach is a big one for times like these. Thank you, Deb and Nicole, for your questions. I will answer those in just a little bit here. Thank you so much. Marketing task number 11, video shoots. So earlier we talked about live streams. Those are different from video shoots, okay? Video shoots are when you pre-record videos that you're gonna promote on YouTube, social media, your website, wherever. And so while your live streams, at the end of a live stream, it will record, save a recording and show it on your site. And then it's a recorded video after the event is over. But a pre-recorded video can have a lot more production value, okay? So you can make sure that you have good lighting and make sure you have a little microphone that produces good audio, because these are kind of really important things. Make sure you're not filming somewhere that's windy, because that's going to get in your mic and mess things up. Make sure there's no helicopters flying around in the sky, because it's going to mess up your audio. Make sure that you're not in a dark room, because lighting is so important. And if you're doing multiple videos, make sure you're changing your clothes, because if you're wearing the same clothes in every single video, it's going to look a little bit weird. But sometimes you just want to take a day and film 10 videos, right? And it's something that you don't necessarily think about, is changing your clothes. And so just do that. Have 10 changes of clothes if you're going to film 10 videos in a day, and switch your outfits for every video that you're going to film. And always try and remember, you're creating these videos for your target audience. Think about the community that they're living in and the kind of videos that they want to see. Think about the kind of interviews that they want to hear, the kind of information about the market that they want to hear, and produce videos that are specifically for them. If you're camera shy and you don't want to be on camera, which I would imagine most of you are not as real estate agents, but if that's the case, there's tools out there that, like Toonly, for instance, allows you to make little cartoon videos, okay? So you can make market report videos using Toonly and you're never in it. Or you could use Snagit, which is like a screen share tool. So you could record something that's happening on your screen and publish that as a video as well. That being said, I firmly believe that getting in front of the camera, showing your face, letting people look you in the eyes, hear your voice, and feel that connection with you and build that trust with you is way more powerful than Toonly or Snagit or any of these other kind of animation or screen capture softwares, especially for real estate agents where trust is so massive. Always remember to upload all of your videos to your YouTube channel. If you're a RealtyNinja customer, we actually force you to do that. We don't want to host your videos. We want you to host your videos on the world's biggest video search engine and the world's second biggest search engine. YouTube is owned by Google, so make sure all your videos are going up on Google. Another example from Craig Veroni. Craig has won awards multiple years in a row for his video engagement. It doesn't hurt that he is a trained actor. Craig used to be on Stargate and other stuff like that, but that was before his real estate career. And so he's great on camera, but the important thing is not necessarily being this fantastic actor. The important thing is actually just producing this content regularly, uploading it onto your YouTube channel regularly. You'll see that each one of these has 1,000 views, 1,000 views. Some of them have less, but that's fine, because over time these can still keep on growing. So build up your repertoire of videos during this time. Take some time to film a bunch of them and then trickle them out. Release them slowly over time. YouTube, before long, can hit 1.28 thousand subscribers, okay, or more. So it's not impossible. Lots of agents do it, and it could be you if you just decide to focus your attention there. All right, marketing task 12, Google My Business. This is a quick one. If you do not have a Google My Business profile, you need to get that as soon as you can, okay? You should have one. It's where you collect your Google reviews and have your website linked on Google and whatnot. And so if you don't have that, you need to go to Google My Business and sign up for one. There's a link in the helpful links of this presentation, so you can go through there. You can update it with your website, with your business information, with your hours of operation, with links, with photos. Make sure that it's totally stocked up, because Google is the owner of Google My Business. So having a really optimized Google My Business profile is going to really help your Google rank. And the more reviews you have, the better as well. And also make sure that you have a valid address on your Google business profile, because then you'll actually show up on map search as well. So if people are looking at a map and scrolling through their city, it could show up there and say Kathy Conway Real Estate, for example, okay? So yeah, just a quick note on that. And here's kind of how it looks when you have an optimized Google My Business profile. So here's ours. So it's got all of our kind of reviews pulled from Facebook. It's got all of our Google reviews, photos of our websites and our location. We've got our map location here, our address and times, all this kind of stuff, even an appointment link if you want one. And if you scroll down, there's even more information. So make sure you're collecting, make sure you're filling out your Google My Business profile. If you don't have one, create it. If you do have one, optimize it. All right, next is lead magnets. So we kind of quickly touched on this earlier when we were talking about your mailing list and providing people with value to join your mailing list. So a lead magnet is essentially something that attracts a lead to your mailing list, okay? So for example, one that we've done a lot in the past is created freebies for real estate agents. So we create these freebies that are like a customizable business card bundle for realtors, or customizable thank you cards, or feature sheets, or door hangers. These are all things that we've created in the past. And you download these free files from us, and then you can fill in your own brand information, get them printed, and use them in your business. But in order to download the files, you need to enter your email address and subscribe to our mailing list. So that's an example of a lead magnet. Now, for you guys, you're probably not going to be creating these templates, these design templates, because your target audience is different. But think about what your target audience wants and provide a lead magnet to them that they will care about, that they'll see as valuable and will be willing to trade their email address for. That's really the main thing. What is going to be worth it for them to trade their precious email address for, okay? If you need to do an ebook and like share an ebook or share a coupon or something like that, you might want to upload it to like Google Drive or something, and then you'll have to set up an email automation campaign using MailChimp. So that's exactly what we do. So like our files are uploaded into Google Drive, like our freebie design files. Once you submit your email address to us, then MailChimp automatically sends you that file in that email. So you guys can create this too. It's really not difficult to do. And there's lots of help docs in MailChimp as well. Make sure you add your subscriber box all over the place. So if you guys are doing a campaign where you're trying to trade an ebook for their email address, make sure it's at the bottom of every blog post. Make sure it's on your website, like a link to a specific page. Make sure you have a landing page for it and promote that everywhere, because it can really grow your list by doing a campaign like that. And think of these campaigns too to do over time. You don't have to do all of them at once. You know, 1 month can be the ebook, the next month can be the coupon, the next month can be a contest entry or whatever. Okay, and here's an example just of one that we are doing now. It's an automation, and so when you subscribe for the Daily Marketing Ninja Tip, you're going to get an email from us every business day with a new real estate marketing tip. So what happens is the magnet here is the value of getting a tip every single day. And so you fill in that and you're going to get a tip from us. What happens is we get the email address and we get to correspond with you regularly until you unsubscribe from the list. So create these kind of valuable ideas. Like think of creative things. Like this one's a pretty creative idea that we came up with to provide a tip every day to people, to real estate agents. And lots of people are subscribing for it and loving it. So you can get creative. You don't have to go for a cookie cutter approach like everyone else does. Think of what your target audience wants and build something for them. All right, number 14, search and listings. So the lifeblood of your business. The search pages and the listing page and the listings on your real estate website need optimization. They crave it. The reason that you need to optimize these listings is because they are considered duplicate content in the eyes of search engines. And search engines don't reward you for duplicate content. Duplicate content is like plagiarism, right? And if you're just copy pasting content from another website to your website, search engines are going to look at that and go, no, this existed here before, so we're not going to rank this other version. Now, listings are data, okay? Listings are data that are fed through from the board to your website and to thousands of other websites of realtors in your board and brokers, okay? So that listing data is not unique to you. You didn't do something unique to get that listing data. It exists everywhere. So search engines are not rewarding you for it. So what you need to do is, whether we're talking about your search pages, you need to add content to them, or if we're talking about your listings, you need to actually modify them so that they contain some unique information. So with regard to the listings pages, the search pages, let's say you create a search page called Yaletown Luxury Condos, okay? So that page is automatically showing all the condos in Yaletown that are over $2 million. Anytime a listing gets added to MLS, that page also updates. So you're like, I created this search page, I'm going to set it and forget it. Now, search engines are not going to reward you for just doing that. But if you add another section to that page that talks about the luxury condos or luxury condo living in Yaletown and talks about some of the shops and amenities in the area, all of a sudden you've created a community resource. That is unique content now. And there's no other page on the internet like that page. There might be other pages on the internet showing Yaletown luxury condos, but there's no other pages on the internet that are showing the information that you're showing as well as those condos. Now search engines can rank you for that page, and now they're going to be willing to show it to their users who are searching for that information. On your listings, on the other hand, if a listing like 123 something street, you add it to MLS, it automatically goes to your website. Now, by default, it's the exact same on your website as on every other website, thanks to reciprocity. But on your website, and this is true for RealtyNinja customers, I don't know if you can do this for your website if you're not a RealtyNinja customer, but on RealtyNinja, if the listing belongs to you, then you can actually edit it and you can add more information to it. You can add more photos, a longer description, PDF files, photo captions, virtual tours. You can embed videos. All kinds of stuff can be added to your listing to make it unique. When you do that, your listing is now the only version of that listing that has all of that information, and so it's unique content. So search engines will actually start ranking it higher than the other sites. Just a tidbit also to remember to add a link to your listing in your, sorry, this is actually a really cool tip. So in MLS, when you go to upload a listing, you have this virtual tour URL field, okay? So if you have a virtual tour for your listing, great, you can put that URL in there. But if you don't, you should actually put the URL for your listing on your website into that field in MLS. So essentially what you do is publish your listing on MLS. Then when it shows up on your website, you go to the listing on your website, highlight the link, and then come back to MLS and paste that link into the virtual tour URL field. Why? Because when that listing updates on the thousands of other websites on the internet, it's going to include that virtual tour link button. And that button, if people click it, it's going to bring them to your website. So what you've just done is created thousands of backlinks to your website. It's kind of a really cool, powerful trick that a lot of people don't think of. And I don't know how we came up with it, but it works, and it's super cool little workaround. So you can embed the virtual tour video on the listing on your site so that when people click it, they're not getting misled. They actually see the virtual tour as well. But your link is now going to be on thousands of other websites out there on the internet, okay? Okay, and here's just a quick example of one of my favorite kind of those community sites I was telling you about with the listings on it, but also a ton of information about a community. And so like this page here, princetonbc.com/Princeton. They've got a video, they've got a weather widget, they've got lots of info. And I invite you guys to actually check out this page yourself. And this link will be included because it's a long page full of great information and photos and like shops and all the other information you need basically about Princeton, BC. And then at the bottom of the page, there's also listings. So you're getting the listings on there, but this is a great community resource. People love it, and search engines love it too. And if you search like information about Princeton, BC, this page always shows up near the top of Google search results. So this is an outstanding example of modifying your listing pages to have some unique content. All right, we're getting near the end here. Marketing task number 15, guest blogging. So this is another form of collecting backlinks, and I intentionally left it out when we were talking about backlinks because I wanted to talk about it here. Guest blogging is essentially the act of writing blog posts for other blogs, not for your blog, but for other blogs out there in the community. So writing a guest blog post for like a really popular blog and giving it to them to publish for free, it has many benefits. Obviously, it showcases you to a whole bunch of new people in the community because that blog is going to share your post. And all of a sudden, all these people are going to be reading this guest blog post from you and are going to learn about you and your real estate business. It also showcases you as a trusted expert in real estate that you are. And the big one is that it creates this backlink for you from a reputable website. So for example, like we used to do, actually, they stopped accepting it, but we used to do these editorials for rew.ca. And I would write these, I think I wrote 6 or 7 guest blog posts for rew.ca. And not only did it connect us with REW, who we're now working with more closely, but also it provided us with major backlink juice. And it was a really strong signal to search engines that we are a reputable company, because rew.ca gets millions of visitors a year. And so for them to be linking to RealtyNinja really, really makes us look good in the eyes of people and in the eyes of search engines. So maybe think of a list of people or of companies out there that, or blogs out there that you could write an article for. Reach out to them and ask if they'll accept an editorial about real estate or about the community. Nine times out of 10, they're going to say yes, because you're basically doing their job for them for free. You're not going to get paid for these articles, and that's okay, because the articles pay for themselves in other ways. All right, next marketing task, number 16, is branding. Now, when we think about branding, oftentimes we think about logos and stationery and fonts and colors. But branding is so much more than that. While those things are extremely important, branding is everything about your business. It's the value you provide. It's the promises you make. It's what you say and do and believe as a business. It's every interaction. It's every email. All of these things are branding. Okay, you're constantly, like this webinar that I'm doing right now is branding for RealtyNinja. This sweater also is branding for RealtyNinja with the RealtyNinja logo on it. So they're different kinds of branding. This webinar is showing expertise and showing that we care about our customers and our realtors out there around the world. And so everything that we do as a business says something and makes an impact on our target audience, who is real estate agents. You guys are sitting here in this webinar today, and hopefully you're not thinking that I'm some wacko talking crazy. Hopefully you think I know what I'm talking about and that you're enjoying this presentation and you're getting some great tips. And so that is going to resonate with you. It's going to be stuck in your mind, and you're going to remember this, for days or weeks down the line. As a business, it's our job to keep pushing that brand forward and keep reminding people that we're doing a great job, and keep letting people know that we're awesome real estate agents. And so keep in mind that your brand lives, it's partially what you do, but mostly it's what people think of you, okay? So you want to understand what your target audience, who your target audience is, what their needs are, and meet those needs specifically. Knowing who your target audience is the number one step in providing them with a fantastic brand experience. And so one thing that you can do is create a brand guidelines document. This document will contain everything from like your fonts, your colors you want to use, your logo, your imagery, all that stuff, but it'll also include your brand promise. It'll also include your brand, your mission statement, your vision statement. It'll include, everything like your goals and everything really that has to do with your business. So I recommend you guys look up a brand guidelines document, like a template, and start filling one out for yourself, and try and stay true to everything that's in that brand guidelines document every time you have an interaction with a customer, or every time you're producing content or putting anything out there from your business. All right, second to last marketing task, number 17, drip campaigns. So we talked about lead magnets to get people into your mailing list. Now, drip campaigns are campaigns once people have joined your mailing list that send to them automatically. Okay, these are automations. In a lot of email marketing software, they're known as automations. Like MailChimp calls them automations. And what it is you write emails once, and then when a subscriber matches a certain criteria, they receive those emails or that email automatically. So for example, our Ninja Tips that we're doing, again, that's an automation. So when you subscribe for the Ninja Tips list, every day you're getting an automated email that is a tip that I've written and I keep adding to, And every day, starting from day 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to get a tip that's automatically sent to you. I don't sit there every day and click send and send, hundreds of emails for our daily Ninja Tips list. They send automatically. This is a drip campaign because every email drips and then drips and then drips and then drips. You can set these up in your email marketing tool, and a lot of CRM tools also provide you the option to set drip campaigns. Drip campaigns don't always have to be a series of multiple emails. It can just be one automated email that celebrates a special occasion, like the day your client sold their home, their first home, or bought their first home. Maybe every day that year you send them a, hey, congratulations, like this is what happened a year ago today, or whatever. Or maybe on their birthday you send them an email. So these are great tools for sending lots of emails without you actually having to write lots of emails. You write it once and schedule them and they send out. So look in your email marketing tool for something called automations or automated emails or something of that nature, and try to create some of these and set them up for your mailing list or for your leads in your CRM. It'll go a long way. Just an example of a screenshot of our automation for the Ninja Tips. So that we've got a trigger here that sends one day after subscribers are sent the previous campaign, or here the previous email, and it sends every weekday at 4 a.m. as you can see there. And so once you subscribe, you're just going to get number 1, number 2, number 3, all the way to 101, 102, 103, all the way, for the indefinite future. And so just a great little tactic, because over time, these emails, I think we've sent like 60,000 of these emails so far. Sending 60,000 emails is a lot of work, very time consuming. But when the automation is handling it for you, you just sit back and watch the emails go out. So it's awesome. And our last one for the day, if you've got a lot of time on your hands these days and you're wondering what to do, it's the best time to learn. There's never been a better time to learn. Whether you're just reading blogs or subscribing to mailing lists full of great marketing information, or maybe you're taking an online course at a site like Skillshare or lynda.com or Udemy or any other kind of online education platform that you can take, like a marketing course or a sales course or anything. Just take this time to learn. I recommend you subscribe to our daily Ninja Tips, read our blogs. Obviously, I'm biased, but I do believe these to be really, really awesome resources for you guys, and I really pour my heart and soul into them. So I hope you enjoy them. And also search Google for answers. If you have questions about anything marketing or sales or business related, Google it. The answers exist. Now you might need to go through a few different links to find what you're looking for, but they are out there. And always, please feel free to refer back to the helpful links section of this webinar. There's tons of great links in here that'll help you do all kinds of stuff. Don't worry about writing these down for now. You're going to get them sent to you after this webinar is over. So if you guys stick around until the very end, after the question period, when I end this webinar, you're going to get redirected to a page where you can download these slides, and you have access to all these links in a clickable format as well. And so, yeah, with that said, guys, I've talked for long enough. I'll leave the floor to you. Please let me know if you have any questions. Type them in right now. And what I'm going to do right now is scroll up a little bit and look at the questions that I've received throughout, and I'm going to answer those in order. And then I'll get to the bottom of the list and start answering the next ones that are coming in. So please feel free to ask away. And so let's see. Yeah, Kathy, the website was sourcebottle.com. Raman posted a link to it there. I don't actually believe I linked to this in the helpful links. I think that one just came off the top of my head. So take a look at that link there, sourcebottle.com. Roxanne, great. Do you have a switch price? Ekaterina, I'm not sure what you mean about a switch price, but if you're talking about switching over to RealtyNinja, then it's free to start a trial, and we will actually help you migrate your site as well. But feel free to expand on that, and I'll let you know. Is there a benefit to backdating blog posts? Brandy, good question. I don't think that there is a SEO benefit in the sense that search engines are going to think the blog post was older. I do think that the benefit to it is to organize your blog post. So if you want something showing up prior to a different blog post, you can backdate it. But Raman, if you want to, if I'm saying something wrong here and you want to interject, please feel free. But in my mind, the content is the content. The date doesn't really matter so much. The fresher a post is, the more likely it is to show up if people are searching for articles in the last 24 hours or in the last month or something. But usually if you just do a general Google search and don't filter by time or date, then you're going to get all the answers, all the results in there anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Seppi, can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just wanted to add a quick note on that for Brandy's question. So search engines are going to look at the first date that the page was crawled. So basically, Google has a little bot. They call it the Google bot, and it comes to your site multiple times a day. Like, for example, it comes to RealtyNinja a few hundred times a day, and it looks for new changes, new content. And so the first day that a new page or blog post appears in their ledger, basically that bot will record that date as the first date. So it doesn't look at the date that you said it was written. It just looks at the date that it appeared in their index, basically.
Awesome. Thanks, Robin. Perfect. Okay, just going through these questions here. Is there a place to find optimized tags to use for metadata, Denise? It's not like a specific place, but like I recently installed a widget in my browser called Keyword Surfer. So I use Google Chrome, Denise, and I added an extension that's called Keyword Surfer, and it gives me like the average search results for certain keywords. So I can look up, keyword like Vancouver condos, and it'll tell me how many search queries there are for Vancouver condos. So then I can see, okay, if that's a popular one, maybe I want to add that as one of my tags for my metadata, or make sure I'm using those keywords throughout my site. So it's not like a place that you go, but there are tools out there for measuring keyword, the frequency of keywords and the effectiveness of keywords and the cost of keywords and all these kinds of things. So you can use that. Like the one that I use again is called Keyword Surfer. I'll just type it here for you. And it's a Chrome extension. And if you guys aren't using Google Chrome, I recommend it. It's my favorite browser, and the extensions are awesome. Okay, let's see. Do you have a support service that will help you do it, what you just told or teach? Yeah, we do have a support service, Ekaterina. Our support team will take care of anything on your website for you in terms of changes or adding content. We don't write content for you, and we don't do like social media marketing or anything like that. For social media marketing, you might want to reach out to Catherine Aird or Heather Clifford at Keep It Simple Social Media and ask them for some help. They are awesome, and we recommend them all the time. But in terms of setting things up for you, we are happy to do it. Anything to do with your website. Deb, do you offer one-on-one hands-on type training? It's something we've played with, but we don't offer it at the moment, maybe sometime in the future. But we don't do the one-on-one training yet. It's not really part of our model, but maybe sometime in the future. Nicole, what would be a meta title and alt example? Say we have a picture of a park on our site, and there are a few other images on the same page. Does the meta include the name of the park and our website domain, or is there a better combination? So let me break this out a bit. So for the picture of the park, and there's a few other images on the same page, each picture can have its own alt text, okay? So the picture of the park, I would say something like, Capilano Park, or whatever the name of the park is. And maybe you can get even more descriptive. For the other images, make sure they're descriptive alt tags so that search engines know what those images are showing, okay? The meta by default for the images, there is no default meta for the images. So I think search engines do see the file name that you use to upload as well, but they don't really weigh that too heavily. So it's really relying on the alt tag and the other content on the page. The meta information doesn't really include your website domain. Your website domain is its own separate thing. And frankly, search engines don't really look at your website domain to find out what your website's about. anyway. That was kind of an old thing, but nowadays so many brands are called random things that don't really pertain to the business that they're operating. So search engines don't really look at the website domain name as an indicator. They look at the content on the page. So make sure if you have a picture of a park on your site and you're talking about that park on that page, that you're really focused on using the keywords about that park, mentioning the area, mentioning the neighborhood. In terms of the meta information for that page, it should just be the stuff that is talked about on that page used as meta, used as a title, a description, as keywords. So think about what the information on each page is and use that to populate your meta. Brandy, I think the best for video shooting is just a lav mic, an lav mic. The little ones that you clip onto your shirt or whatever and just chat into. Those ones are perfect. They're easily concealable, and you can basically take them. They're very portable as well, but you will need a recorder to go with that to actually record the audio. So that's my recommendation is that kind of microphone. Other than that, I think it's called Blue Yeti. If you're doing desk stuff, Blue Yeti has a really good microphone as well. We'll just write that here, Blue Yeti.
Can I just interject? I just wanted to add a couple that I've been using. If you're recording directly from your smartphone, let's say you have an iPhone, just use the AirPods. The AirPods are great because they're wireless. They're easy to set up, and the audio quality is pretty good. I'm on them right now. They're perfect for like short little updates. Even when you're doing your live stream open house, I would put a pair of AirPods or just one in your ear, and then that way your voice is streaming much better. So if you walk around a corner and someone's filming you, the audio doesn't cut out or something like that. And then the new AirPods Pro can also just cut out a lot of the background noise. If you're using a camera like a DSLR video camera, I recommend the Rode series, RODE. I use the Video Mic Go. It's the small one, and they also have the Video Mic Go Lightweight, which is super small. These things are under $100 and they're amazing. Like the level of quality is just incredible. So I'll link to those in a sec too.
Awesome, thanks, Raman. Raman's a little bit of a video enthusiast himself. He bought the whole kit and he's done some studies, so take his word for it for sure. Next one. So Denise, would market reports be a good example of a lead magnet for a specific community? So they are definitely an example of a lead magnet. The only thought that I would have there is that are your market reports unique? Are you doing something with them to make them unique and make them yours? And is it something where the visitor can't just go to the market or to the board's website and find the exact same report without having to subscribe to a mailing list, right? So it needs to have something to it. I'm sure lots of people will subscribe to your list if you provide the market report and that's what you're providing. But I think you're gonna attract more people if there's something special about the market report. Like maybe you make it into an infographic, or maybe you just present it as a video or something like that to make it unique. That would make a better lead magnet for a specific community, just to be technical about it. But overall, market reports are definitely an example. It's something that you're trading for an email address. Brandy, a list of upcoming virtual open houses would be a relevant lead magnet if these can be dialed in on our website. Yeah, you can actually, with your RealtyNinja website, you can create a niche MLS search that is only showing properties with upcoming virtual open houses or live stream open houses. So you just check that box in your MLS widget options, and it'll just show listings that either have an open house or a live stream open house. And since there are no open houses right now, it will only show live stream open houses. So you can always email us and we can set that up for you, or let you know how to do it yourself, but that's definitely possible.
Can I just add one note on?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So basically, if the content is rare, then putting it behind some kind of lead magnet works. But once that content starts to show up everywhere, then you're going to have to add value for people to give you their email. So if you're making people jump through hoops to get to the content they're seeking, and then they can get that same content without the hoops elsewhere, then they'll go elsewhere. A good example of this is asking people to register to do a public MLS search. That tactic was perfect 10 years ago. And now, just because every website has a MLS search, it's less meaningful without adding value. So, showing people sold listings or VOW, like more information on listings, more listings than what's on the public side. That kind of added value is perfect for lead magnets. And so right now, I would say you have an opportunity to use live stream open house searches as a lead magnet, but probably not in a couple months.
Thanks, Robin. Good point. Kelly, do you offer a service that does a website review? We don't offer an official service, but I'd be more than happy to personally review your site if you want to send it over to me, and I can let you know if there's any areas that you can make improvements. But RealtyNinja as a company does not have that service, but just as a service for you, I'd be happy to help. Kim, the webinar is going to be recorded, and it will be on our YouTube channel, and I will be sharing it via email to everybody who registered for this webinar. So whether they attended or didn't attend, you're going to get an email from me with the recording as soon as it's up on YouTube. So it is being recorded right now. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the compliments. I'm so glad you enjoyed the webinar. Thank you. Thank you. Melania, what services do you offer? We offer a website, like website software that has a full IDX and MLS integration, support for your website, as well as design services for your website. So you can just check out RealtyNinja.com for more information, and you can also start a free trial at any time, and you have an unlimited amount of time to launch your website and play with the trial. Raman, were you going to jump in and say something?
Yeah, first I just wanted to thank everybody for coming today. This is the best turnout we've had on a webinar ever, so that's awesome. And I'm really happy just to read feedback that you guys like it. So super stoked on that. Thank you. I just wanted to address two people's questions. One, Tim Ray. Yeah, so sold prices on MLS searches through the VOW portal is super important. We announced that we were going to jump on that quite a while ago. And we, hit some snags on the development side of things. But about a month and a half ago, just before the pandemic really took over, we finished it and submitted it to the real estate board for approval. They emailed us and said, we need to review this and we might have some delays and we'll get back to you. So we bugged them every couple of days. And we just heard back from Tim Yee at the real estate board, and we have full approval to move forward. They said that our implementation passed the audit with flying colors, no changes needed. Yeah, so we're super, super excited. So as of today, we're setting up the database connection with the Vancouver Real Estate Board to get that VOW data, including the solds on our own database. And then we just need to kind of tie up the loose ends, figure out, there's still one piece of the pie missing, which is our process for getting agents to sign up for VOW, and then we need to verify that they're allowed to have this functionality on their site. And so just working out the kinks with the real estate board on that whole approval application process. But in terms of the functionality, it's pretty much ready to go. So we'll have a big update on that shortly. Don't quote me on it, but coming soon. I'll say that much. So the hard work is behind us. And then last thing I just wanted to say was about Denise. She had a question about putting those links on, putting your own website on the virtual tour URL on MLS to get the backlinks. So yeah, this is an incredible hack. I've only seen a few realtors use it, but it's a good way to get thousands and thousands of backlinks within a second. So you just find the actual listing for your client's listing on your website, you grab the URL, and then you put that as the virtual tour URL on your MLS software, for example, in Paragon. And I know I can speak for RealtyNinja. We have thousands of customers across Canada, so every single one of those websites that have your listing show up on the MLS search results will have a do follow link back to your site for that virtual tour button. I don't know how the big portals do it. I think REW allows it and they have a do follow link. Yeah, I think Zillow has a do not follow link, which essentially what that means is people can use it, but the Google backlink juice basically won't be counted. Yeah, I hope that answered the question. And then Chad, what about VOW sold info for ad boards in Canada? So not all real estate boards even offer it, but we are kind of, getting everything ready for Vancouver. And then most likely we're going to be doing Edmonton and Calgary next, but just don't quote me on that yet. We're just figuring out which boards are most like Vancouver with the least amount of work required to change our systems. Yeah, because right now we're in over 100 real estate boards, and some of them have completely different technologies. So we'll keep you posted.
Awesome. Thanks, Raman. Thanks for all of that. That's perfect. I think we've answered pretty much all the questions. The only one I've got here is from Nicole. I'm so glad you found it helpful. The helpful links are going to be, like, this whole presentation will be sent to you after. So if you stick around, when I end this webinar, it will automatically take you to a page where you can download the slides and see all the helpful links, which are also included in the slides. I will also send the recording of the video to everyone who registered, so look out for that. Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate that. We appreciate you as a customer and appreciate your kind words here. I think we've covered everything here, guys. If you have any last questions, please feel free. Otherwise, it's been an hour and almost a half, and I really, really value your time today. I really appreciate you being here with me. I hope you guys are keeping safe and washing your hands a lot, and we hope to get out of this very soon. I think there's already some change coming, but we're gonna make it, guys. I know it's tough for real estate agents right now, but we're gonna make it together. And we love you guys. And awesome. Great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. When I end this webinar, it's going to forward you to a page where you can, let me just answer Glenn's question here. Last question. If we use the link on our website as the virtual tour link in Paragon, does it matter if the time for the live open house has passed? If we use the link on our website as the virtual tour link in Paragon. So I think, like, we're thinking about two different things. The link on your website should be the virtual tour link, but the live stream open house has its own place for a link. So that's a totally different link. It wouldn't take up the same spot. There's a virtual tour URL, and then there's also a live stream URL. So there are two different categories that you can enter links into. So just use the virtual tour URL for forwarding to your link. But use the live stream URL for forwarding to one of your live stream open houses. I hope that answers your question. Won't keep you guys any longer. If you guys have any more questions, you can always email us at info@realtyninja.com. We're always here for you. So have an awesome day, and thank you so much again for being here. Cheers, guys.